Terence "Bud" Crawford is known as one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world, but when we dig deeper into the records and conditions of his opponents, some cracks begin to show. In this video, we'll explore how Crawford's best wins came against fighters with questionable records or significant disadvantages, and why this might suggest that Bud is overrated. Let's start with Israel Madrimov. With only 10 fights under his belt, Madrimov had no losses and one draw before stepping in the ring with Crawford. Despite his limited experience, Madrimov gave Crawford a surprisingly competitive fight. Many fans and analysts even thought the fight could have been scored as a draw or had Madrimov winning. The fact that Crawford struggled against a fighter with just 10 professional bouts raises serious questions about his ability to dominate truly elite competition. Yeah, he had a nice background amateur record. Now, let's talk about Errol Spence Jr. Heading into his fight with Crawford, Spence had an impressive record of 28-0, but there were serious concerns about his physical and mental state. People noticed that Spence looked drained, and even speculated that he might have been high or intoxicated. Also, Spence had recently undergone eye surgery and had survived a brutal crash where his car flipped multiple times in 2019. This wasn't the same Spence who had dominated the welterweight division, and yet Crawford's win over him is often cited as one of his greatest achievements. Next up is David Avanesyan, who had a record of 29-3-1 before facing Crawford. Avanesyan had already been TKO'd before stepping in the ring with Bud, which suggests he wasn't an indestructible force. Crawford's victory over him, while impressive, might not carry the same weight considering Avanesyan's previous losses. Shawnporter is another respected name on Crawford's resume, but even this fight comes with its own set of asterisks. Porter's record was 31-3-1 when he faced Crawford, but after the fight, his father and trainer, Kenny Porter, claimed that Shawn wasn't prepared and was unmotivated. Although Shawn later denied this, it was clear that he was already on his way out after his previous bout against Errolspencejr Jr. and did not have a good team behind him. Was this really the best version of Shawn Porter, or just a fighter nearing the end of his career? Kellbrook came into his fight with Crawford with a record of 39-2, but Brook was already damaged goods. He was coming off a brutal KO loss to Errol Spence Jr. and a TKO loss to Gennady Golovkin. These defeats had left him with significant injuries, including broken orbital bones, which clearly affected his performance against Crawford. Was Crawford's victory over Brook truly meaningful, or was he simply capitalizing on a fighter who has passed his prime? Amirkhan's record of 33-4 might look impressive on paper, but his reputation was tainted by his well-known glass chin. Khan was coming off a TKO loss to Danny Garcia and a brutal KO loss to Canelo Alvarez. By the time he faced Crawford, Khan was already seen as a fighter who couldn't take a punch, making Crawford's win less impressive than it might seem. Jose Benavidez Jr. was undefeated with a record of 27-0 when he faced Crawford, but his career had already been derailed by a shooting in 2016 that left him with a bullet wound in his leg. 2 years later, he stepped into the ring with Crawford, clearly not the same fighter he once was. This raises questions about the quality of the victory, given the physical challenges Benavidez was dealing with. Jeff Horn's record was 18-0-1 before he faced Crawford, but his most notable win against Manny Pacquiao was widely seen as controversial, with many believing Pacquiao had already won. Horn's technical limitations and the controversial nature of his victoy over Pacquiao make Crawford's win over him less significant. Yuriorkis Gamboa was undefeated at 23-0 when he fought Crawford, but it's important to note that Gamboa was a featherweight moving up in weight to challenge Crawford, who was naturally bigger and stronger. Gamboa's jump in weight class gave Crawford a significant advantage, making this victory less about skill and more about physicality. Finally, we have Ricky Burns, who had a record of 36-2-1 when he fought Crawford. However, Burns had already been dropped by Raimundo Beltran and had undergone surgery that saw a titanium plate inserted into his jaw. Burns was not at his peak when Crawford fought him, which again raises questions about the significance of this win. When we take a closer look at Terence Crawford's opponents, we see a pattern of fighters who were either past their prime, had been dropped before, or were dealing with significant physical challenges. While Crawford is undoubtedly a talented fighter, his record might not be as impressive as it seems at first glance. Has Crawford been truly tested, or has he simply capitalized on opponents with vulnerabilities? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you think I'm wrong, drop your thoughts down below in the comments, and thank you for watching.